All right, everybody, the microphone's not working, so pull in a little bit so you can hear us. It's a good thing I got a loud voice. So I want to thank Spencer. The next coming up is no stranger to all of you, who's a former candidate for governor, former Turnpike board member, who was illegally removed from the Turnpike by acting Governor Jane Swift for refusing to raise tolls and for giving notice to Bechtel that Turnpike was going to fire them. Ladies and gentlemen, Christy Mihos.
So this doesn't work, right?
Right.
Okay.
Just like the PIKE.
Merry Christmas. And thank you for allowing me to come here before you today. I'm going to give you the facts, I'm going to tell you the truth, and what you must demand from your elected officials today to head this thing off. The Turnpike raised your tolls last January of 2008, in accordance with the Big Dig Finance Plan. Those tolls are mandated to go up every 6 years by a fixed amount that's in this group of documents here, all right? Every 6 years. The January increase was sufficient to meet the Big Dig bond payments of $136 million a year on the Metropolitan Highway System, Route 128, all the way to Boston, the tunnel, and the 2 tunnels, all right? So let's get that one out of the way. The Turnpike Board will hold a number of public hearings later this month, and on their catastrophic toll hike plan that they voted last month. There is nothing, I hate to tell you this, but there's nothing that you can legally do to prevent that vote from going forward if in fact the Turnpike votes, as they did in November, 4-1, to double the tolls on the Metropolitan Highway System, the tunnels, and now Massport wants to jump in here with $3.50 on the Tobin. They've represented that their toll increase will raise $100 million annually.
Why, so they can get more?
Anyone who's, I don't know that there's anyone here that's seen their financials or any plan that they have put forward here. I FOIA'd the Turnpike, I filed a Freedom of Information Act to the Turnpike Authority to try and get last year's audited statements and any plans they have that contradict what's in these documents here. As yet, I have not heard anything, but that doesn't surprise me. When I was a sitting board member and vice chairman of the Turnpike Authority, I had to file Freedom of Information Act requests to get information from my own senior staff, and once had to go to court against the chairman of the Turnpike Authority and his general counsel to get 9 contracts that were problematic so I could see how they settled these contracts, one of which was the fatal contract, the 9B2 contract in the tunnel that tragically killed one person and caused the death of another person. So that doesn't surprise me, but I just haven't talked to anybody who's seen any real numbers yet, and that bothers me, all right? Because I've been through this since 1999. I don't trust anything that they say, and neither should you. Yet they're telling us that they're going to raise $100 million by doubling your tolls, right? $1.50 on the Boston Extension, $3.50 on the 2 tunnels, the Sumner Cal and the Ted Williams Tunnel. Yet according to their own traffic projections of daily transactions on the Boston Extension and on the Sumner Cal and Ted Williams Tunnel, the real number, if their numbers are anywhere accurate to what they proposed in the bond payment, when they went to the bond offerings and when they put forward their disclosures and all, the real number is going to be about $152 million. So don't believe the $100 million. I've looked at their numbers, and if you impute the doubling of the tolls, it's about $152 million a year. And as I said, your neighbors here in next door are looking to, at Massport, are looking to double the tolls on the Tobin Bridge. Every mistake that could have been made in building and managing the Big Dig has already been made. Every mistake. I've seen them all. You've seen them all. The good people in the Boston Herald, talk radio, and sometimes the Globe really has put these things forward to us here. But I've always maintained that we spent $11 billion in design and construction on the Big Dig. Where did the other $5 billion go? Further, you're hearing on Beacon Hill and in the Boston Globe is touting an 11 cents per gallon increase in the gas tax. If they do that, that's 11-cent increase in the gas tax would bring them $340 million each and every year. Each and every year. There's absolutely no reason to raise the gas tax in a down economy. But the Globe is touting it, some on Beacon Hill are, and again, can't do it. There's also a plan up in Beacon Hill. They had hearings, I believe today, about privatizing the turnpike, all right? And selling it to one of these big mammoth companies that comes in and runs the pike. They get control of it. They do whatever they want. They pay you money up front, and they sign a 75 or 99-year lease, and you're subject to the whims of a giant corporation then. I can tell you, for dealing with Bechtel for years, we don't do well when we have to stand up to a giant corporation. Our guys on Beacon Hill, they don't do well. Don't let them privatize that road. Don't let them do it. This economic meltdown is really just beginning. It's going to get much worse over the next 24 months. And really, there's not going to be any Wall Street bailout for Porter Street, Wyoming Square, and Lynn, or anybody, all right? That's not going to happen. We're in this, like we said, we're in this together, and we have to stop this. The fact is, according to the documents in the that brought us the Big Dig, and all the bonds and all, in a recession, a depression, a time when the metro area is experiencing a downturn, or in the case of a national emergencies, it says right in this document in black and white that the tolls cannot be raised at that point. We are in an economic meltdown. The job losses haven't really started as yet, and it's going to get much worse over the next 24 months. There is no need to double your tolls when they already raised your tolls. So this is what you must do, and you must do it today. And I know that there's some senators and hopefully some reps here and some city councilors that have got to work together. They'll be up. They'll be up. These folks don't run. But this is what you have to do. You have to get the people on Beacon Hill, your city councilors, your selectmen in your towns that you live in. You have to get them working together with Governor Patrick, the Senate President, and the Speaker. And they've got to pass legislation before the year ends, before this year ends. And what they have to do is they have to earmark $100 million that was paid by Bechtel in that settlement that they paid so they could escape criminal prosecution for what they did, right? They paid $458 million, and it's sitting in an account in a bank earning interest. Take $100 million of that money. It's your money. You paid for it already. Take that money, pay it to the Turnpike Authority to settle them down for a while, and pay it to them $100 million in lieu of any toll increase. If you double the tolls, or if you allow them to run rampant over you, whether it's a toll increase or gas tax, God forbid it's privatizing that road, you will inflict more pain on you than you already have, and this economy is getting worse by the minute. So that's my plan for this part. The other part on the Western Pike is to sell those 11 service area plazas to the highest bidder. I hope to hell at the state pension system because they're great investments. Pay off the Western Pike bonds, take down those tolls out there and bring that extra $100 million in and level these tolls off for many moons to come. But you've already incurred a toll increase that was the same toll increase that was in that binder down there, that was the only toll increase that you had to incur this year. Don't let them do this to you again. Merry Christmas, and let's stick together.